Here's your host, Alex Garrett.
All right, question of the day once again. Why, oh why, isn't Dr. Nemat Shafik fired yet from Columbia University? I'll ask that a little later because I'm pretty sure in this recording she won't be fired. There will be news of that as I'm talking to you. There's more of a chance of an earthquake being missed on this podcast than there is of a firing of a president of a university that has now allowed anti-Semitism to continue to stay on campus. You know, it's amazing. The New York Post had a huge white flag atop Columbia University saying they have surrendered. And they have. They've surrendered to the anarchists at Columbia. I said in my blog, it pains me to talk about this because Columbia University saved my life at the Columbia University Presbyterian level. Speaker Johnson and Nicole Maliatakis will be on Columbia University's campus, will be at Columbia University later today to try and figure what the hell's going on and see what resolutions can be made. But here's what's got me going today. Again, I have interviews in the queue, but I don't feel like talking about that yet because this is on my mind, front and center. Last night's Yankee game was a nice breather to go to and get to see friends again at Yankee Stadium and be with my fiance and, of course, follow the Rangers along as they're now 2-0. That was great. That was a little breather. But then I skimmed through the news and I see this. Columbia University has told Fox Business that it's grateful for Robert Kraft's years of generosity and service after the New England Patriots team owner announced he's pulling financial support to his alma mater over the anti-Semitic protests. This is by Greg Norman of Fox Business. But when asked to comment by Fox Business, a Columbia spokesperson said, "This is a time of crisis for many members of our community, and we are focused on providing the support they need while keeping the campus safe." And under that note are tents on the campus of Columbia. See the juxtaposition there, the paradox? This is a time of crisis for many members, and we are focused on is keeping the community and campus safe, letting these tents erupt day in and day out and stay day in and day out? Is that campus safety, Columbia University? I said this, Columbia has gone from the Sea of Columbia has become coddled because they're coddling anti-Semitism at this point. Because, yes, they're arresting and suspending, but clearly that's not doing enough. So when I see that Robert Kraft and then this article, and then they say they're grateful to Mr. Kraft for years of generosity, but this is a time of crisis for members of our community, and we are focused on providing the support they need. Campus safe, you don't even want Jewish people on campus. You're afraid for their safety, right? That's why you want them all at home instead of fighting for them. Fighting for the Jewish student body, you tell them to stay home. That's not campus safety. That is appeasing the anarchists, the anti-Semites on that campus right now. And I understand there are Jewish people that are actually in these tents with the pro-Palestine movement, which as someone of Jewish descent, I feel the need to support the Jewish people instead of support those who want to target the Jewish people. That's just my view. So, you have these tents set up. You have Columbia saying, oh, well, we're focused on keeping the community safe and campus safe by not having classes the rest of the semester. That is weakness. That's not strength. Calling it strength to keep it safe, calling it a way to keep campus safe, that's cowardly. So Columbia is now cowardly and coddling of anti-Semitism. And I will not apologize for calling what this movement has become. And been, I guess, since October 7th. We just didn't realize it till, they really started chanting, I am Hamas. And, why? Why do we let that behavior on campus? How is that safety? That chant and all the anti-Semitic, from the river to the sea, anti-Semitic anecdotes are being allowed to stay, while the Jewish people are being told to go home. That's not campus safety. That's your cowardice, your coddling, and you've just surrendered to the anarchists, Columbia. And boy, oh boy, I wish Jim Harbaugh was still in Michigan, because he might have just stepped in there and stopped the fact that they're organizing now in Michigan and Tent City is in Ann Arbor. The main reason for me why this president should be fired, and it's 1:35 as of recording, and she's still not fired, on a Wednesday, April 24th. Note the time. The big reason to me is, yes, it's been allowed on campus, anti-Semitism, but she's encouraged the spreading of it by allowing it to go out on her campus. It's not just affecting Columbia, it's all over. And I believe a Jewish person should not be afraid to walk the streets of New York, or any streets. And yet, because there are signs saying, target these Jewish people next on their campus at Columbia, they will have blood on their hands if something happens to Jewish students. We need to open up the door again for the Jewish community. And you know what, campuses? When you feel like posting a pro-Jewish thing like a Happy Passover or Happy Hanukkah, screw off. With all kindness, I say screw off. Because they don't need to hear that from you that's allowed this rapid anti-Semitism to spread. It's rapid. And it continues. And it's too much to stop right now. And as I said yesterday, President Biden speaking about it, where was he years ago when the campuses were being indoctrinated? Where are the vetting processes of allowing pro-Hamas professors to join the ranks of the faculty? Why is that allowed? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So, I actually shook the hand of Robert Kraft on Media Day years ago, but because I had the media pass, I didn't want to get a picture with him. I guess I should have. I got to shake the hand of Robert Kraft. Genuine guy. Despite whatever the media says about the Spygate and Deflategate, he as a person is a genuine guy. And this is how real he is. He's pulling his support for his alma mater. Now, I think he's throwing the gauntlet down for others to do the same, and they're just not. The more dollars that Columbia collects, the more they're going to enable this. Maybe if the funding does stop, they will wake up. It shouldn't take that. Money should not be the reason why the Jewish people should be supported. Meaning, the donors shouldn't have to pull out just to have Columbia wake up. They should already be woken up. They should already be woken up because they have invoked fear in their Jewish student body and professors. And Rabbi Illy, who sent that message out the other day to all Columbia, basically the Jewish community of Columbia. So they are, in fact, responsible for inciting violence. Well, Columbia's not actually saying it. Yeah, well, they're allowing it. They're allowing the incitement of violence. So they are indeed enabling the incitement of violence. Wouldn't you agree? I'm Alex Garrett. That's my update today. Just remember. By the way, Kraft gave $50 million over many years. And while he sounds regretful, but also he's done. He's done. Another top donor, by the way, billionaire investor and Omega Advisors Leon Cooperman, was cited by the New York Post as saying he would stick with a pause on donations to this prestigious institution. By the way, they're not really prestigious anymore, in my view. They've lost that title, too. And he put this pause shortly after the Israel-Hamas war began, before that's even popped up. But I love that the spokesperson in Colombia is trying to gaslight us all. This is a time of crisis for many members of our community, and we are focused on providing the support they need while keeping our campus safe. For who? Columbia University. For who? Because campus safety should be applicable for the Jewish community, not the entitled trust fund, probably getting their college tuition paid for a-holes that feel like they can just take over the campus. And yes, there are professional agitators. That is probably true. But there are also students taking part. And that cannot be lost in this whole debacle. Columbia, cowardly and coddling. And Kraft is done.